So let's just get ourselves settled into a lovely position that feels comfortable for you. So having a good long stretch, perhaps. As you come to lying down, finding your space. So just taking your time to get yourself into this position and knowing that you need to look after yourselves. So it might be that you put your head on a cushion. Consider what's going on in your lower back. So you might want to bend the knees or put your knees over a bolster, stafus. Extend the legs away and just find a comfortable place for them. So it might be about hip distance apart, or if your lower back and your hips are feeling okay, you can take them quite a bit further. And then also bringing your attention up to the shoulders and noticing where the shoulders are. And if they're up around your ears, sometimes it's helpful just to lift one down and then the other. And then gently take the hands away from the sides of the body. So there's some space. Allowing the fingers to softly curl. The palms facing up to the ceiling if that's available to you. And just really taking your time to allow the body to just relax and let go. Maybe take some deep breaths. So breathing in through the nostrils and then sighing the breath out through the mouth. And noticing as you exhale the effect that has on the body, on the nervous system. Also that sense of emotional release, of letting go. Surrendering the weight of your body to the ground, allowing the earth to really support you in this moment, just as you are. Noticing how that feels for you. Be here in this space, in this moment, surrendering. Allowing your awareness to travel through the landscape of your body. Feeling into all the different sensations in the body, including the rhythmic movement of the body with the breath. And starting to draw the breath in more deeply into the lungs, into the body, and notice as you do so if that starts to shift your energies. Just deepening the breath. And as you do that, starting to have a little bit of a wriggle around. So maybe the fingers and the toes. Just starting to move the body as it wishes to, with awareness and with kindness. And starting to stretch. So maybe bringing the arms up, pushing the heels away. Bring a yawn, pointing the toes. Maybe you want to take it more softly than that. And just take the time to rotate your ankles and wrists, or perhaps you want to do it stronger and go from side to side. So just listening to your body and what it needs this morning. And then if your knees are not bent already, just bending them and placing the feet mat distance apart. Just taking them out to the edges of the mat. If your head's on a cushion or a block or something, taking that away and just being aware of your neck and tucking the chin in a little so there's an alignment through the spine. It might be that it's helpful to take your hands around the back of the head and draw the chin down, lifting the head up and then placing the head back down on the mat. And then taking the arms out to the side so you've got a little bit of space around you. And next time you breathe out, you're going to gently take the knees down to the right side. And then as you breathe in, bring them back to the center. And as you breathe out, taking them to the left. So just doing that several times, allowing the lower back to open. So I usually start off with doing this a couple of times, just with the weight of the legs, so that you're just allowing gravity to draw you down. And then if it feels all right in your lower back, and you've done that investigation, and there's a little bit of space there, then you can just press the knees down towards the floor using your leg muscles, which opens into the back a little bit more. Notice how you feel in your shoulders, and they're nice and soft, keeping them relaxed. Just easing from side to side, pressing the knees down a little bit more if that's comfortable for you. Good. And then coming back up to the center when you feel like you have done that evenly on both sides. Keeping the feet as they are and let the knees come together. And then just allow the knees to come out to the sides. So we're just coming together and out to the sides. Opening into the hips a little. Just doing that a few times with the breath. And then bringing the feet slowly back into hip distance apart, and take the arms down by the sides of the body. And creating some contact with the spine and the ground. So for me, that means I tip my pelvis a little bit to allow more contact down through the spine. And then take the arms down by the sides. And we're going to draw the right knee in, keep your hands on the floor, And then extend that leg up to the ceiling. Draw the knee in and then place the foot back down and then change over to the other side. Just bringing that sense of curiosity to your hamstrings and see how they are. And if they're feeling open, you can draw the toes down towards you as you extend the leg away and open up into the back of the knee. Taking your time, there's no hurry, no rush. And then we're going to start to bring in the arm movement so that as you lift up your right leg, the left arm comes up and to the floor behind, and then returns back up and down by your side as the foot finds the floor, so does the hand. And just changing it over to the other side. So we're doing opposite to opposite. And if it all feels well in your shoulders, then you might want to just have a little reach as your back of your hand reaches the floor. So if you're trying to get hold of something just beyond your fingertips. So there's a stretch, an opening into the shoulder on each side, which feels really nice. Knowing that one side will probably feel different to the other, and that's okay. And the more slowly you do it, the more you can feel it in your core. So just connecting in with that too. And the next time you bring your right leg up, taking both arms up and behind, having a stretch out. Just reaching up behind you. Feeling the hips and the shoulders starting to warm up a little bit. It's a really good way of finding out what's here for you in your body, what you're experiencing right now. And then bringing both hands, both feet back down to the floor, just having a pause and some reflection, aware of the breath. And then if it feels all right for you this morning, we're going to bring both knees in, both arms up, and then extend everything away like a capital L shape, and then slowly, slowly bring everything back down. And the more slowly you bring it to the floor, the more you're using your core, stretching out. If you don't feel up to this today, then just continuing one side and the other. It is strong on the tummy, strong on the back. And then next time you take it up, holding it there. So really making use of this movement, pushing the heels, bringing the toes down towards you and reaching up as far as you possibly can. And breathe. Just feeling that belly button going down to the base of the spine. Good. And then gently bring the knees to the chest and give them a hug. Well done. Cross the ankles and ease yourself from side to side. Softly going into a little bit of a twist. Just feeling that massaging of the back, of the muscles, experimenting with where your knees are. You might want to bring them higher up or lower down. And then slowly allow the feet to come back down to the ground, the arms down by your sides. Maybe close the eyes and notice how your body's feeling. Just having a moment of pause. And we're going to take the right foot and place it on the top of the left leg, and you can draw that foot up a little bit higher if you can, as high up the left leg as you can go. And you can stay holding onto that foot with your left hand. So you're holding your right foot with your left hand. And then with your right hand, maybe just pressing the right knee away from you. So you're creating some space between your belly and the leg, feeling the hip opening in just a slightly different way. And then we're going to go into half lotus. So taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw the left knee towards you. You might like to lift your head up a little, but making sure you put it back down on the floor, and take the hands around the back of the left knee. So for some of you, you'll take your hand or your arm over the leg, but if that's not possible and your foot's closer to the knee, then you can take your arm through the space of the right leg. So just having a feel around and see how your hip's feeling today. And then every time you breathe out, draw the knee down towards your chest a little bit more. Allow the shoulders to release. Give the head a wobble so you're not holding on to any tension in the neck. Feel the breath and notice where you're holding on, and soften if you're able to. Get a little more of a stretch. And then we're going to gently let that go. Just place both feet back down on the mat, noticing maybe the difference between the left and the right. And then take it to the other side, knowing that this might feel quite different on this side. So first of all, bringing the left foot as high up the right leg as possible, holding onto that left foot with your right hand and pressing away. So we're pressing the knee away with the left hand. And then beautiful long breath in, and as you breathe out, drawing the right knee towards you. So hands around the back of the knee, just checking in with the neck, the chin tucked in as much as possible. If you find it quite hard to get the hands around the back of the knee, of course, you can always use a strap, a dressing gown belt or something to open up into that left hip. Shoulders are soft, neck is lovely and loose. Feeling the breath, and every time you breathe out, just a little bit more of a drawing down and opening of the left hip. And then gently and slowly release. Placing both feet back down on the floor once more. Feeling into the hips. And then extending away. So arms up. Legs lengthened. we're going to very gently roll over onto the right side and ease yourself up. Just taking it slowly. And we're going to find our cat posture. So there's no rush. So if resting on your hands is difficult, you might want to do this on your elbows, but if that's difficult too, then you can come into cat by coming into kneeling and just taking your arms, your elbows out to the sides. And as you round the back, you're tucking the chin in, or drawing the belly button down. And as you're extending away, taking the head up and back and arching the spine. Or of course, you can just position the hands a little bit further away from you. So sometimes if the wrists are sore, it's quite nice just to give them a little bit more space. Spreading the fingers wide, making sure that the hands are lined up with the knees and the feet are lined up with the knees too, and the hips. So everything's straight. If you look down, you probably won't be able to see your feet. And starting with the face just looking down towards the floor and finding a nice position for the spine and drawing in a little. So there's some tone there, just to create a nice sort of feeling of a flat back. And breathing in, and as you breathe out, starting by tucking the tail under, slowly lifting the spine up towards the ceiling, chin comes down. Keep the elbows nice and soft as you release through the tailbone and allow that wave to come up through the spine, lifting the head. So feeling into that movement through the spine, rounding the shoulders a little perhaps as you arch towards the ceiling, and then rolling them back and engaging all the muscles around the shoulder blades, taking them down the spine as your head comes up. So there's movement through all the muscles of the back, and also paying attention to the front of the body. The chest, the heart area that comes through the shoulders as you lift your head. You're starting to gently rock back and forth, feeling into what's right for you today, what your body needs. Being gentle on yourself if that's what it needs, or you can be quite strong by taking the bottom down towards the heels and coming down towards the floor of the chest, and then really lifting up through. Remembering to round the shoulders as you come back. Sometimes it's quite nice to start off really softly and then let's play around with what's here for you. All the while taking care of the neck and the back, the knees. And then just resting back on your heels, or if you need to, placing something between your bottom and your heels to lift you up a little bit. Have a little roll of the shoulders once you're there. Ease yourself back. Just really bring them up towards the front, and then lift them up to your ears, and then roll them back, squeezing the shoulder blades as much as you can. Just gently, gently does it. Good. So we're going to just have a twist of the upper back, and we're going to go into threading the needle. So if you are having difficulties with the knees, just resting them on a blanket or cushion or something. And of course, as we're focusing on the upper back, just taking care, being kind to yourself. And again, if your wrists are sore or elbows, you can do this sitting, so that what we're doing is we're going into twists like that. So if you can't balance on your arms, then just sitting back and doing a twist. So we're going to turn the left hand in and turn the palm of the right hand up to the ceiling, breathing in, looking at the hand as it lifts up to the ceiling, breathing out as you thread it through the eye of the needle. Rest the head on the floor momentarily, and as the breath starts to enter the body again, taking it back. So you can feel your upper back, your thoracic spine starting to twist and open, responding to the breath. Drawing in through the core. And the next time you thread through, resting on your shoulder, rest the head on the floor, and have a sense of really opening up into the spine, to the upper back. Okay, and then coming back into neutral cat posture, having a little time, a couple of breaths in and out before we turn the right hand round so the fingertips come towards the center. And knowing that this wrist, this arm, shoulder will feel different. So breathing in as you take it back, breathing out as you thread it through. And as you lift the arm up, see if you can go a little bit further each time so that you can really sense into the shoulders. Keep watching the hand. So you go into a lovely twist. It's all looking beautiful. Keeping the core nice and controlled. And then bringing the shoulder down when you're ready, head on the floor. And just allow the shoulder to open a little bit. Feel the breath in the shoulders. You might want to wriggle the hand a little bit further as the shoulder starts to open. And then gently easing yourself back up. Having a pause. And then coming back onto kneeling and having another roll of the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to go into pigeon. We've done some hip opening and just listening to the modifications to support you in this. So we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, let's bring the left knee forward first and then ease yourself back. So if this is too sore on the knee, you might want to just put something between your thigh, the back of your thigh and your calf, so it just lifts you up a little bit. If it's all right for the knee, what you can do is just wriggle that left foot across so it sort of sits on the top of your right leg. Just watching that the pelvis doesn't sort of roll too much over to the side. So let's just give that hip a little few moments to release. If you can, you wriggle the right leg back, opening into the top of the leg. And then bringing the elbows down to the floor. You can rest your forehead on your hand. Allow the breath in the body to soften the leg, relax the buttocks, the lower back. Bringing the forehead to the floor and extending the arms away. And we're going to come up into pigeon, so you can come up onto your fingers, roll the shoulders back, really having a sense of the heart lifting up towards the sky. You might want to close your eyes. And notice where you're holding on, and whether as you release the lower back and the leg, the buttock, whatever, there's a sense of a deeper stretch and opening through the hip. Just feeling that heart opening, shoulders are back, the breath in the body. And then if it feels okay for you, bending through the right knee and taking your right hand around to the right foot, holding onto the foot. You might want to just change the position of your left hand to give you a little bit more balance. Take a breath in as you breathe out, pressing into that instep and turning to look at the foot. So there's a lovely twist in the spine, but don't overdo it if it's not right for you. And every time you breathe out, perhaps turning a little bit more. That beautiful twist. You've warmed up the back and allowing it to twist a little bit further. Drawing in through the core, so you're really working into the body. Stabilize it. And then coming back to the center. Just resting down on the elbows, forehead on your hands. And then we're going to ease ourselves into a long dog. So bring the hands either side. If you tuck your toes under of your right foot, breathe in and breathe out and let the arms, let the left leg come through. And feel the hamstrings lengthen, the heels coming down towards the floor. Let the head flop, nice and soft. Drawing in through the core. A lovely long dog, downward facing dog. Feeling the stretch in your shoulders, the arms. And then gently coming back into cat. Offering yourself a moment of pause, reflection, just to see what's here for you in your body. Before we take the right knee forwards and the left leg back. So really recognizing that this side may be quite different and you might need to look after it in a different way with blankets or cushions or whatever. If you need to, you can leave your leg like that, or you can wriggle your foot across so that it rests on the top of your left leg. Good, and then coming down onto the elbows, resting your forehead in your hands. And breathe. Aware of any holding on or guarding that you might be doing in your body, and notice what happens if you release that. And then bringing the forehead down to the mat, extend the arms away. And slowly and gently easing yourself up so that your sort of body weight is going through the fingers a little. There's an arching of the spine. The shoulders are back and down, and there's a beautiful openness of the heart. So you can feel the throat stretching. The heart is coming through the shoulders and lifting up to the sky. And notice if you're holding on with your legs, and see if you can release that, keeping the pelvis central, allowing the breath to help to release. And then if this feels right for you, bending through the left knee. I take my hand around to the other side just to give me more stability. As I then take my left hand to the left foot, taking a breath in, breathing out, turning to look at your left foot. And every time you breathe out, have a real sense of a twist, more of a twist, a deepening into that place. If it's too much for you, just staying with the previous posture or modifying as you wish. And then gently coming back around, down onto the elbows, rest your forehead on your hands. Beautiful, long, nourishing breaths in and out. And then tucking the toes under. And we're going to go into a long dog once more. So taking a breath in, breathing out, scooting that right foot through. Drawing in through the core. Heels coming down towards the floor. And you might want to just walk your hands and your feet slightly closer together. Bend through the knees a bit and flatten and lengthen through the spine. And then let the heels come down towards onto the floor as you go into full downward facing dog. The head is nice and soft. Having a real sense every time you breathe out that you're shifting just a little so that you're lengthening. Straightening the spine a little bit more. Feeling the arms working, the shoulders. Modifying this as you wish. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet towards the hands as we come into standing forward bend. Just having a roll of the shoulders, one and the other. Little shake of the head. And then taking a breath in, breathing out, easing yourself up. Nice and slowly. Oh, coming up to standing. Done, and having a roll of the shoulders. And you get there. One side and the other maybe. Just a release. A little shake of the arms, shake of the legs. Good. Lovely. So coming into mountain, feeling the feet really connecting to the floor. Standing beautifully tall. Just checking in with the posture. So the tailbone's down. There's a softness in the knees, so you're not sort of really rigid in the legs. I'm imagining that piece of string coming up through the top of the head, lengthening the spine. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. Feeling the roots going down from the soles of the feet, deep down into the earth. Giving you a real sense of stability, groundedness, connection. Okay, and then separating the feet so just over hip distance apart. I'm going to just let the arms come round and flop against the sides of the body. And then just taking the hand up so that as we twist, it just sort of flops against your shoulder. It just gives your shoulder a little bit of a pat. You can do this gently or quite firmly. And then cupping the hand, and as you go around, just give your shoulder a little bit of a cup. The back if you can. My arms are too short to go too far round, but just giving yourself a little bit of cupping massage as you twist. And then taking it down and doing the same on the hips. So just giving each of your hips on each side a little bit of a pat. And then cupping the hands and taking them around a little bit more. Good. And then let those arms just find a still point, closing your eyes. Maybe feeling some sensations of warmth or tingling in the hands, the arms, the shoulders. Aware of the breath in the body. And then rolling the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to come to the end of the mat. And standing with the feet hip distance apart. Really nice and tall and lengthened. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let the left foot come forwards, and notice how the pelvis will want to turn, but we want to keep it straight, looking forwards. Bring the hands into prayer position. Breath in, breath out, bending through the front knee, so that the knee is above the ankle and no further. And then really thinking about that back leg and pressing the heel down into the floor so that back leg is beautifully straight. Keep the pelvis pointing forwards. So you really need to draw in the core, align the spine. Take a breath in, breathing out. Bring the arms up. You might want to have the hands in a prayer or interlace the three fingers and the thumb and have the first finger pointing up. And deepening into this. So every time you breathe out, see if you can open into the back knee a little bit more and just allow the pelvis to sink and lifting up out of the waist. So lengthening through the arms. And then if it feels all right for you, we're going to go into a little back bend. So take a breath in, breathing out, just moving the hands back a little more. Just taking care of the spine. If you feel like your knee's coming back, the left knee, then just making sure it keeps above the left ankle. And then lifting the head a little more and having a sense of the heart coming up to the sky and beyond. Opening of the heart. Feeling the breath in the body, drawing through the core. See if you can lift any more. So every time you breathe out, there's a feeling of lifting and stretching and deepening into this beautiful posture. And then allow the right hand to come back onto the right leg. Left hand reaches a little bit further. See if there's any more room to take your left hand back. So there's a support from that back leg. Looking up if you're able to at the left hand. If your neck's sore, then just keep looking forwards. Keep breathing. Good. Shoulders, the right shoulder's down, back. And then gently easing yourself out of it in the same way as you came into it. And this transition is really important. So staying present and aware of the body as you transition from Warrior One to the back of the mat. Closing the eyes and checking in with how the body's feeling. One feels all lopsided, a bit twisty. Just notice if anything's here for you. If there's a change in temperature. And then we're going to step forwards when you're ready with the next exhalation with the right leg. So nice long stride forwards. That back leg is nice and straight, and finding the position for your knee above the ankle. So if you found it all very easy before, you might want to just shuffle your foot forwards a little bit. Both feet stay like on train tracks. They don't become like a tightrope. They're still sort of in alignment. Bring the hands into prayer. Breathing in and breathing out, lifting up out of the waist. Every time you breathe out, feeling like you're lengthening that back leg a little more. That right knee is over the ankle, drawing in through the core. Beautiful, long, deep breaths in and out, feeling the ground supporting you. So you're really connected to the earth. And gently easing those hands back. Keep lifting up out of the shoulders. Having a real sense of the arching of the spine. And if you lose your position of the knee over the ankle, just bring it back. So there's a feeling of connection. Maybe lifting up to look at your hands, if that's all right for the back of the neck. So you're not scrunching the back, you're lifting up and just elevating. Feel the heart coming up to the heavens. All the parts of the body working to keep you in this posture. And then gently let that left arm come back to the left leg. Nice straight leg. Resting it there as you take your right hand back. Really open into the front of the body now. Pressing the pelvis forwards a little, keeping the right knee above the ankle. Muscles working hard, just feeling your body. gently and slowly transitioning, feeling into moving the body just gently back once it came. Standing here in mountain just for a little while, maybe. You might want to stay with your hands in prayer or just let the hands come down at the sides. Oh, just notice the difference in the body. Maybe some warmth has come into the hands, to the muscles, sensing the shoulders. And then a nice easy roll of the shoulders. Shake of the hands, shake of the legs. Just release any of that tension. Maybe a little wriggle of the hips. Wonderful. So we're going to go into eagle arms. So just making sure you've got enough space. I'm just looking at my ceiling, just making sure you've got some space around you. And take a breath in, both arms go out to the sides. And as you breathe out, cross the right over the left. And if you can, hold on to your hands. But otherwise, just finding whatever posture you can do. And I always like to turn my hand a little bit. So if your hands are sort of, if you're looking at your palm, you might want to just turn it so you start looking at your thumb. Just have a play around with that and see how much more stretch that gives you into your shoulder. You're drawing in through the core, tailbone is coming down to the floor, softening through the knees a little. And then lift the elbows up slightly and away from you, so you feel that beautiful stretch in your upper back. And then lift the arms up as high as you can, up towards the ceiling. And just checking in with the lower half of your body. Your core is strong, your tailbone's coming down, the knees are soft. And then take a breath in, soften through the knees as you breathe out, flexing down through the hips as you go into a hanging forward bend. Just let the arms come down. Lovely deep breath. So you might want to have a little bounce. Just maybe an ease from side to side. And then take a deep breath in as you breathe out. Slowly, slowly let the arms come up. And then unravel and release. Have a roll of the shoulders. A couple of times. A little bit of a shimmy. Ah, good. Pausing. Just to notice the difference between the left and the right shoulder. And we're going to repeat that on the other side, taking care on this side. Noticing a difference. So the left goes over the right this time. And starting by having a play around to see what is possible for you. So it might be that you're looking at your palm, or see if you can turn that round a little. And feeling into the stretch that creates in your shoulder, your upper back. Checking in with your lower back. If you feel like you've sort of gone into the pelvis pointing, just tipping forwards a little bit, drawing through the core, tailbone coming down, just soften into the knees. Let the elbows come away from you. So again, you can feel more of an opening into the upper back, breathing into the shoulders, into the shoulder blades. A real stretch in this area. And then breathing in, breathing out, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Feeling the stretch in the shoulder, the arms, the breath in the body. And then with the knees nice and soft and keeping the arms in that place, breathing in, and as you breathe out, flexing down through the hips and coming into a hanging forward bend. Let go in the head, the neck, shoulders. Maybe have a little bob around in this place. And ease from side to side. And then breath in, breathing out, really using your core. Coming back up and gently unravel and roll the shoulders back. Mobilizing into the shoulders, the legs. Well done. Good. And then you take the hands behind, interlace the fingers and just draw the shoulders back, opening into the front of the body. Lifting the hands up, breathing in and breathing out, release. Doing that a couple more times. Breathing in, lifting the hands up as much as you can, breathing out. Once more. And breathing out. Perfect. Okay, so bringing the hands in front of you, just allow the tips of the fingers to touch very gently, softening through the knees. Breathing in, bringing those hands gently up to your throat and turning the hands around and bringing them back down. So it's rather like you're lifting a really light balloon coming up to your throat. And then as you turn your hands, you're just pressing that helium balloon down again. And a little bit more. Just really softly feeling the shoulders release. The breath in the body. Next time you come down a little bit, you might want to just bend through the knees. So depending on how you're feeling in your knees, you might want to separate the feet a little bit and go into a deeper squat as you come down. Feeling the thighs. You might want to keep this really soft and gentle. Drawing the energy up through the body and then allowing it to travel back down to the earth. Feeling the breath. Good. And just allow the hands to come into prayer in front of you. Just holding that position. The thumbs coming into the chest, the heart center. Maybe feeling the warmth of the energy. You might want to place one hand or both on your chest, on your heart center. And then softly releasing that and coming back down onto your mat, lying on your back. Give your knees a hug into your chest once you get there. Good, and then we're going to go into a twist. So bringing your arms out to the sides at shoulder height and take your left leg over your right if that feels okay for you. And the next time you exhale, traveling down to the right side. So slowly, slowly transitioning down to the right as far as you feel you can comfortably go. Trying to relax the legs once you get there, softening into the hip. Feeling the breath in the lower back, all the way up through the rib cage at the back. And then easing yourself back up when you're ready. So uncrossing the legs, you might want to come into a little bit more alignment, have a little wriggle around. And then crossing the right over the left this time. Breathing in and breathing out. And down to the left side. And once you're there, noticing where you're holding on and see if you can let go, to release. Maybe even feeling into the joy of this stretch. The opening, the body that you've warmed up, you've twisted and lengthened and strengthened. And then coming up nice and softly back into the center. Just lying in semi-supine, your hands to the belly. Closing the eyes if they're open and feeling the breath, the rise and fall of the belly. You may wish to take some long, deep breaths in and out. And then tuning into whatever position you might want to adopt for your back. So looking after your spine, but it might be that you just lie in Shavasana with both legs extended, both arms by your sides, with the palms turned up, or you may well wish to rest your legs on a sofa or a chair or up the wall. Turn onto your side or your tummy. Maybe find child posture or something else that feels right for not only your back, but the whole of your body. As we enter into this period of relaxation at the end, of rest and restoration. Whichever posture you find yourself wishing to be in, making sure that you're warm and comfortable. And allowing an awareness to travel through the landscape of your body once more. Maybe noticing any areas that feel different to when we first lay down. And as the awareness travels through the body, bringing with it a real sense of kindness and care. So you're holding all of your experiences with compassion. Just allowing the breath to flow freely. Bringing a sense of gratitude for the breath in the body. Maybe extending that to other parts of the body. Perhaps even just saying thank you as your awareness lands in different places. The way that our body has just moved, the way we've made some modifications to take care of the body, maybe where there's pain or discomfort, some healing going on. This body that takes care of us so well. Starting to bring some really gentle movements back to the body when you're ready. So it might be a hug of the knees, a rock from side to side, or a stretch, some circling of the wrists and the ankles, responding to what you're needing now at the end of this practice, and how you can perhaps take an awareness of the body through into the rest of your day, and offering yourself opportunities to to move, to stretch, to breathe. And then gently easing yourself over onto your right side and resting there a little while. And coming on up to sitting when you're ready. Having a roll of the shoulders once you get there. Lovely. And then interlacing the fingers. Turning the palms up to the ceiling. Taking a breath in. And as you breathe out, allowing the hands to gently float down either side. And namaste. Thank you very, very much.